right, y'all. Welcome back. I gotta stop saying welcome back. How y'all doing, y'all? Episode 31 of KMG Presents The Session. I am your host, King. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. If you are listening on the audio podcast, I hope y'all are having a beautiful day on your road trips or whatever you got going on. And if you are watching this on YouTube, how y'all doing? I hope y'all are doing great as well, because as you can see, I'm doing better. Finally got the studio put together. We finally got a few things going on in the shop. But, all right, I cannot complain. I am living good, feeling good. I hope y'all feeling good. But let's get down to it, man. We're here for the session, so let's hit you with the session. First, foremost, let me thank a good friend of mine, classmate, Mandela Barnes. He is a lieutenant governor for the state of Wisconsin, which I live in, but he is also running for United States Senate for Wisconsin. And he stopped into the shop this week and came and talked to my buddies at the Geek Set, with the Geek Set podcast, as well as a few other my clients that came through with the wife. It was a really good time, and I appreciate him. I just want to send him a shout out there. Hey, man, thank you. You know, I know everybody's not political. Everybody doesn't pick sides. But let's be clear. Someone who's really trying to do something for the community and for people like me who are small business owners and veterans and black, you know, I really appreciate y'all. So he's one of them guys. Thank you. Real stand-up dude. You know, get that out the way. Appreciate you. From all of us, everybody here. You know what I mean? Geek Set, artwork productions, like everybody who works here at the shop, like we appreciate you. Release dates. I got release dates, y'all. For the Do What You Love, we looking at about 2 weeks. From 2 weeks from now, so it's October 25th, and I'm thinking beginning of November. We looking for a drop. We also got a couple other projects out, but that's like my main objective right now because it's really been more time consuming than other projects. And that's kind of really why, you know, I had to skip a week of recording the session, is because I've been doing so much work with that, and then so much other work besides that. Is like, it's coming, you know, and I get it, you know what I mean? Like, I put the pressure on myself. I know viewers and followers and people who listen or rock with me, they definitely don't put a time spent on this because they listen no matter what. Like, and I appreciate that, y'all. So, you know, just want to make sure I'm getting that out to y'all. Make sure I'm letting y'all know what's going on and keep y'all abreast of what, you know, KMG is doing, because that's the whole point. You know, I can't ask for your support if I'm not willing to put out proper timelines and stuff like that. And eventually I want to get to the point where I'm really dropping every day or every week at least new content with a couple new shows. So with that being said, too, please believe Movie Time is coming back, because I just went and saw a couple movies this week, and I definitely got to do a review on them. But perfect segue for that is I'm gonna give y'all some of my current watches and what some of the things I've already seen that I feel I gotta put y'all up on. So currently, right now in the anime world, I don't know if y'all noticed, but it's a lot of new animes that have dropped. Whether it's on Crunchyroll, Hulu, Netflix, like the anime world is going crazy right now. But I got to spotlight. I'm going to spotlight 3, but it's really about 5 that I want to touch on. So the 3 that I'm going to touch on, and one of these really, they don't count as new, but it's what I'm watching, so don't judge me. Mob Psycho Season 2, staying up on that. Spy Family, I'm getting caught up on that. And Naruto. Yeah. Naruto. I'm getting caught up on Naruto, which I feel weird because this came out so long ago and I should have been watching it, but whatever. I wasn't on the team. And don't get me wrong, personally still not on the team, but I like it. It is a good anime. It is really dope. I see how it became one of the big 3 at the time. And I refuse to watch Boruto, but I do respect Naruto. I also got to put out Chainsaw Man. Getting caught up on that is pretty dope. You know, I heard a lot of people that read the manga, you know, they really mess with it pretty tough. So I'm going to mess with it too for right now. You know what I'm saying? Chainsaw Man is pretty dope. I mean, like I said, people told me that the manga that is wild, so we'll see. As far as Spy Family, I'm getting caught up. I know it's a season 2 out, but I'm only in the first season, so I'm halfway through there, and I like it. It's hilarious. It's definitely one of my favorites to watch, and I always keep it like playing in the background, even when I'm on something else. I just throw it in there. Um, and to be fair, I think all the other animes that I really want to watch right now, like I'm gonna just get caught up on those because My Hero, that is the 5th one that I want to touch on. My Hero is dope, but I'm letting it build up. I got to like episode 3, I think it was, or 4, and I was just like, you know what? I can't keep doing this. I gotta let this build up so I can binge it. And I'm one of those people. I binge. I know other people don't. I know people are like, no, I gotta stay up because I got conversations. I'm in the same boat, I got my Discord chats, I got Facebook chats, I got Instagram chats where we talk about anime. But please believe, and I'm in the barbershop. But please believe, I still need that, for my own viewing pleasure, just so I can get caught up all at once. You know what I'm saying? So I'll probably wait another week and then just binge those 4 episodes that I'm kind of behind on. So the movies that I've actually been up on that I really need y'all to really go see. So I checked out Black Adam this week, and there will be a movie time on this dropping this week because this movie was pretty good. And as a guy who has been critical of the DCU or the DCEU, however they want to talk about it, I look at Black Adam not as the first really good movie, but probably the third. They've been building up, and I honestly feel the Snyder Cut was the first, and I think they learned their lesson with the Snyder Cut. Don't hesitate. Don't change direction. Go hard at what you're going on. And when we go back, Suicide Squad, the second one, the second edition, top movie to me from the DCU. So this movie, I had high hopes, but also had low expectations. So I hoped that they would hit, exactly where they need to hit, which they almost did. They definitely almost did. They had all the characters they needed. They did tweak some of the lore, some of the history, but again, it's movies, and I feel like they'll eventually either come back and fix it, or they'll find a way to make it, fit the narrative for the movie or for the series, because I'm sure this is going to be at least a trilogy. Now, with the Black Adam DCU, from my understanding, they have decided that he will be the start of their new universe. And everything that to follow will fit in, which I'm okay with, because Shazam needs an upgrade, Batman needs an upgrade, Superman needs an upgrade, Wonder Woman needs an upgrade. All of these characters need an upgrade because to me, DC chose to be dark but childish. And when I say dark but childish, they give this very depressing, and they used to. All these movies that, from besides the 2 that I named, the Snyder Cut and Suicide Squad, whether it was the Harley Quinn movies, whether it was Batman vs. Superman, whether it was Batman in general, the Batman, any of them, they all were very dark and depressing, but they didn't attach the dark and depressing with the killing or the violence. It was always soft violence or softcore fights, but then very dark, very depressed attitudes, which to me doesn't go together. If you're going to go that route, you got to be like the Punisher, where it's dark and violent. You know what I mean? Or Daredevil, dark and violent. So to have that continuity now where Black Adam was dark and violent, and I was here for it. And I'm not going to give you a review because that review is coming later. But just know that's one of my put-ons as far as a movie to go see. My second put-on, and it's probably out of the movie theaters by now, but it's definitely a put-on. Bullet Train with Brad Pitt. When I tell you the cast, the storyline, the writing, the graphics, like the fight scenes, it gave all of what I needed. I mean, all of what I needed. It was in the sense of a Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but without Mrs. Smith. And when I say that, it was like the betrayals, the backdoor deals, the whole premise of the movie made it so that you didn't know what was going to happen at the end, but you also didn't know who was involved. You also didn't know who like was starting all of this, but you knew what the outcome would be. And again, one of these great movies that I'm not gonna give away, the storyline or the premise, because I'm gonna give you a review on that later. But Bullet Train, that is definitely a put on. If you have not had a good movie in your queue, I know it's on Prime for rent, and it may be in some theaters still, but it's definitely worth the watch. So yeah, those two. I mean, there's more movies that I could mention as far as like you should probably go see, but right now those are my top two. So to the main topic, because this is what the session is mainly about. This week, I want to talk about losing yourself on the internet. And when I say losing yourself on the internet, this week in the internet, we've had so many wild occurrences. And I'm only going to name out certain people because I really don't even like naming out celebrities. I don't like doing this because I don't like talking about entertainers and what they got going on, because a lot of it is so made up. It's all here for entertainment. Now, as far as when I say entertainers, let's be clear. Everybody's an entertainer. Actresses, movie artists, movie actresses, music artists, it doesn't matter. Podcasters, like, we're all in the world of entertaining people and bringing joy to someone's life, or bringing, mystery to someone's life, or anger, or, some type of emotion we draw out of doing it either behind the microphone or behind the lens or in front of the lens, and we try our hardest to cater to the crowds and the audiences that come our way and basically do our best at our abilities of what we feel we're good at. And I put myself in there because I also look at myself as a entertainer, whether it's brand new to the world, but it's still entertaining. But let's talk about a few people. So we had Madonna this week in the internet. She kind of went off at Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and other artists because she feels they don't show her respect. Now, in my opinion, no one has to show anyone respect. Pioneers are pioneers, and they made it that way because they made a living becoming famous. Those are what you deserve. You deserve that accolade, because everybody knows you. And yes, if someone does reach out and say thank you for being the first, or thank you for being someone who helped pave the way for me, that's all fine and dandy. It's dope. I agree everybody should do it. No, you don't have to, though. But somebody should do it. Somebody, not everybody. Somebody should do it. Just to make people feel better. Now, in her opinion, she decided to go a different route and kind of call people clowns and kind of go against the grain of, and I know that Cardi B has shown love, and I'm sure Nicki Minaj probably showed love. Like, all of these people are entertainers. And I know all of this is for entertainment. But let's be clear. Those things are still for entertainment. When they stir up the pot, when they make the press release, when they talk to the people that you feel like what are you talking to them for? That's what it's about. You know what I mean? Like, in a world where podcasts are plentiful, TV shows are plentiful, we have so many ways of getting our voices heard that no one's really there to silence you anymore. Everybody wants to hear your voice. Now, even with that segue, let's talk about the Kanye West situation. Kanye West has no reason to be upset with anyone. But he is. And in my opinion, I think it all stems from a mental health breakdown from not getting your way after years of getting your way. And it's just the same thing with spoiled little kids. I know because I have 4. And we have spoiled some of our kids to where when we get into conversations or, an argument, they say things that just don't equate to anything that's relevant. But it's what's on their mind. And that's just how it is with an unstable mind. The unstable mind is wrapped up in itself. You know what I mean? Like, no one can tell Kanye West that he's wrong. And no one will. Because he won't listen to them. people will verbally say it, but he won't hear it. Even if he hears you, you can look at it. Look at his body language. When you watch his interviews, when people say to him the truth, he stares off into space because he calculates the response to make them stop talking. He doesn't listen to you and absorb your facts or your words, anything. He just thinks of a way to respond. And that's how most narcissistic, bipolar people are. Because for them, this isn't a two-way conversation. This could be a 3, 4, 5-way conversation because in their head, they got 3 other people talking. So yeah, I say, well, sir, you should be only speaking to the people that affect you directly and not generalizing anything you have to say. Okay. But this side of Kanye and that side of Kanye and the back side of Kanye could be telling him completely different things. And it happens all the time. People living in their own heads. Now, do we forgive them? Maybe. Maybe we do. I don't know. Do we bypass helping them and allow them to fix it on their own? I don't know. Because I don't think that will help. But what will you do? Will you make it worse? Or will you make it better? Or do we allow society to do what it's always done? Because in society, when people break away from the norms and people pursue their own personal selfish gains, whether it be emotional, financial, or physical, generally the masses separate themselves. And it's automatic. And it's no one's fault. I don't think it's a malicious thing either. I think it's what naturally occurs in nature. When one wants to be separate and be their own minded people, like-minded people will follow. But if you're being your own, then you should be prepared to think and move on your own. So now, along like in Madonna's situation, she doesn't have to worry about these type of things because her comments were directed solely at people in a certain group who aren't major. Like, yes, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and whoever else she was speaking of, those female artists, yeah, they have a certain subgroup of people in this world who will follow them through and through. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely what entertainment is about. You know, creating your group, creating your fan base, and those people ride with you through thick and thin, no matter what. Maybe you have, like, you know, Patreon or Discord or some other way to reach out directly to them, and they'll be able to know what's going on, like the insiders. Everybody has an insider group. But when you talk about Kanye West, his situation is different because he chose to go the religious route, and you chose to generalize broad spectrum, whether it been black people being disrespectful to blacks, being disrespectful to the Jewish community, being disrespectful to anybody. You know, whether it's the people that you work with, the artists that you talk bad about, because you talked bad about other fellow rap artists, you talk bad about a lot of people. And in these rants, you lose yourself because you forget what you said last week. You forget what you said 2 weeks before that because you're so focused on what they're listening to right now and what they're reacting to. And that's part of politics, entertainment, all wrapped in one. You know what I mean? If you go back and watch certain movies like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? There was two politicians as the characters. You had the incumbent and you had the new guy. The new guy ran on a platform of, I work with the little man and we're gonna get rid of all this, you know, hoopla, and we're gonna advance ourselves. But yet you were still part of the Klan. You still wanted segregation. You still wanted a lot of things. And when the people found that they enjoyed, you know, music from black people, and they didn't want that to be shunned away, he was shunned away. Because people's minds change. So yeah, at one point, you will have 1,000,000 followers who will ride with you to the end. But how long will that last when those people's minds change? So that's what you have to realize. Don't get caught up in the internet. Don't get caught up in the world around you that doesn't involve you. Any voices outside of you, you got to let that go. Because those outside voices are what influence people to do things that generally don't benefit them in the long run. And when I say an outside voice, I know what you're saying. Well, you saying don't listen to your pastor? Don't listen to your teachers? No. Definitely not saying that. But I'm saying, if it doesn't involve your education, if it doesn't involve progressing or benefiting yourself, why would you listen to it? Why would you care what people think if it doesn't directly benefit you? And when I say directly, I feel people on the religious point. I feel you. But there are too many contradictions, there are too many hypocrisies, and too much untold for me to base my life decisions on your religious views. So I'm going to stay out of it, and I'm going to do what I need to do for my family. Because that's all I can do. Until the day I meet my maker and my creator, and I can ask them how they felt. Because God, nor any other disciple in those books, chose their religion. From what they said, they were told their religion. And we have to understand that, and we have to remind ourselves, none of this has anything to do with us directly. So forget it. Move forward with your life, do what you need to do, and better yourself. Don't let this stuff get you caught up, man. Don't let this stuff make you lose relationships or jobs or friends, all because you feel interested in it or you feel entitled to knowing about it or speaking about it. A lot of stuff you just got to let go. So, with that being said, we're going to wrap up this week's session. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for checking out this episode. Don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. We are definitely putting out more merch. We're definitely putting out more videos. And I'm also trying to get to the point where I'm shooting videos and I'm not going to edit them. I'm just posting them. So, check me out. Comment down below if you think I did a good job or if you think I did a horrible job. Tell me if I need better lighting. Tell me if I need better backdrops. All of this stuff, man, for real, put it in the comments and let me know. Because I really want to get to this point where I'm putting it out week by week. And I feel like if I can get to the point where I can just set up, shoot, and go, my setup will be complete. And I need y'all help to do it. So, thank y'all again, man. Appreciate y'all. Have a blessed week. Until we meet again, peace.